Welcome once again, Resurrection Community. It's good to be with you again for one of these video devotions. So my parents recently have been doing, like many people have been doing, is going through a lot of their stuff and organizing and giving away to Goodwill and so on and so forth. And one of the things that they came across were some VHS tapes of myself in high school, and then another video of me from my seminary days. And it's interesting because these are two very distinct, separated times in my life. So when I was about 14, 15 years old, 16, I think, in high school, and so that's a good 30 plus years, 34 plus years from now, back in history, and then 16 years ago in seminary. And it was fascinating. They've digitized these videos for me, and it's fascinating I've been just glanced through them the other day, to see myself, my younger self, in these two distinct times of life, and to recognize. I guess one of the things that occurred to me was that the anxieties we have in high school, that development time in our lives that's so challenging in so many ways, with relationships and schooling and all the stuff that we're figuring out, and all the anxiety that comes with that, and then also seeing myself in seminary, and recognizing. I mean, the video that they had was of my very first sermon ever preached in a seminary class, and the anxiety that I had around that, because it was the first time I'd ever done that, and I was stressed out about it. It was nerve-wracking. And it's so interesting, though, to tap into the reality that those momentary times in my life were filled with anxiety over things that were temporary. And it's easy to say that now, looking back, because I have perspective, right? But the anxieties that I had at those times were really temporary. They were about what was in front of me at the moment, without recognition that it would pass, and that I would move on and survive it. And so I think about that in terms of our lives right now. We're going through this COVID anxiety and the stress about how we're going to get out of this, whether a vaccine's going to come, and so on and so forth, and when it's going to come, all that sort of thing. But it occurred to me that fundamentally the reality of this time is that this too is a time of temporary anxiety. This is not going to last forever. We will pull through this in some form or another. We will survive this. And it's easy to look back, like I said, and it made me wonder if I'm going to be looking at these videos of our devotions and our worship services in 5 years from now, and recognizing the anxieties that I had at this time as temporary. So I encourage you to think about that perspective from the standpoint of recognizing that this, tough though it may be, and it is tough, and it is life-altering for many of us, but it too is temporary. My grandmother used to say always, "This too shall pass." So I came across a text I wanted to share relating to this out of 2 Corinthians. It says, "Therefore we do not lose heart. Though outwardly we are wasting away, yet inwardly we are being renewed day by day. For our light and momentary troubles are achieving for us an eternal glory that far outweighs them all. So we fix our eyes not on what is seen, but on what is unseen. Since what is seen is temporary, but what is unseen is eternal." So I encourage you to focus on recognizing the love of God in your life, God's grace, God's forgiveness, those things that are eternal, that we can't quite see in front of us, but that can free us a little bit of what we can see, our current anxieties, and recognition that this too is temporary, that God's love will carry us through this, and that we will thrive to live another day. So blessings to you, my friends. I wish you a great day for the rest of your day, and take care, and God bless.